There are plenty of fish in the sea. Well, at least there used to be. According to an organization called Sustainable Fisheries, 34.2% of our fisheries are currently being overfished. The sustainability of our oceans has been called into question by a variety of studies, some of which are predicting a complete depletion of our oceanic resources within the next 100 years. Many of the questions regarding oceanic sustainability are addressed in an article written by Scott Burns of the World Wildlife Fund, written in 2003, called Environmentalists Urges Global Action on Overfishing. The main issue and point of emphasis of this article revolves around lowering the amount of damage to fish populations and their habitats by reducing the amount of legal bycatch by the commercial fishing industry. The article also goes on to provide a practical solution and realistic solution that the United States as a whole can use to address the problem on a national scale. The UN Fish Stocks Agreement and other international instruments recognize the importance of reducing fishing's harmful effects on ocean species and ecosystems. Fishing's unintended consequences include about 20 million tons of bycatch a year, and in some cases, the destruction of habitats that serve as cornerstones of marine productivity and biological diversity. For example, bycatch is by far the most important threat to populations of both dolphins and other cetaceans. Reducing bycatch and mitigating fishing's other impacts on the environment makes business sense as well. In many cases, bycatch consists primarily of commercially valuable fish species caught before they've reached marketable size. In the Gulf of Mexico, for example, bycatch and shrimp fisheries has played a major role in undermining red snapper populations. Fortunately, there are plenty of good examples of fishermen and managers working together to solve bycatch problems. In the Eastern Pacific tuna fishery, the bycatch of dolphins dropped by more than 98% through a concerted effort by fishermen and regional governments. If we set priorities for fisheries where bycatch poses a major problem and then work aggressively to solve it, we can achieve similar results elsewhere. But this will only happen in international fisheries if relevant conventions are modified to explicitly mandate bycatch reduction and habitat protection, and if there's the political will to ensure that these new mandates are actually carried out. In addressing the threats to the integrity of our oceans, it makes sense to begin with the most pressing problems and focus first on the habitats that are most critical to life in the sea and the marine areas that house the greatest biological wealth. At the global scale, the World Wildlife Fund has worked with leading scientists around the world to identify a set of ecosystems that are most precious to life on Earth. In the marine realm, these biological priorities include the Bering Sea, the Sulu-Sulawesi Seas, and the Galapagos, a unique and highly productive marine system. Such places of special biological importance should be considered as the United States develops its ocean conservation priorities. Within these biologically important regions, the United States should play a leadership role in promoting the creation of networks of protected areas to conserve the ocean's web of life. Marine protected areas are well established as the most effective tool for safeguarding marine biological diversity. The problem is that existing protected areas are too few, too dispersed, and frankly too small to provide large-scale conservation benefits. At present, less than 1% of the world's oceans and coasts are under any form of effective management or protection.